Hi, I am Dr. Gunadhar Padi. I am the consultant intensivist at Apollo Hospital, Navi Mumbai. So today I am going to speak few of the tips to care for the mild variant of COVID infected patients at home. As we know, if we see the different presentations of the COVID, majority of the COVID infected patients remain asymptomatic, and very few out of that presented with milder form of the infections, and only 1 to 2% of the patients they remain critical. So these asymptomatic infected patients or the patients with mild infections, they need to care for themselves at the home. So the treatment plan I am going to present for this mild to moderate variant of infected patients along with the asymptomatic patients, how to care for themselves at the home. So as you know, the symptoms of the COVID is mainly respiratory in the form of the dry cough, shortness of the breath. The systemic symptoms are fever, fatigability, and sometimes the patient may present with other symptoms like sore throat, running nose, sneezing, and very rare to rare cases the other organs may be involved in the form of decreased urine output like diarrhea, like nausea, like vomiting, and sometimes the patients may be present with severe generalized weakness, giddiness, and other neurological symptoms. So if you see the disease course, basically the disease course varies from a earlier acute disease to inflammatory phase to the recovery phase, and when the patient shows the signs and symptoms of the disease, before 5 to 7 days before that, the patient may be infected and he can able to spread the virus to the other person in the locality or the surrounding. So this is called the incubation period. So incubation period varies from 5 days to 7 days, and after that the patient may shows either a acute mild or acute severe form of COVID. This phase varies from generally 5 to 10 days. Usually the average duration of this phase is a week, and after that sometimes some patients they show very severe symptoms, and this is called the inflammatory phase, and this is the most dangerous phase. Many of the milder variety of COVID patients, they usually don't progress into this inflammatory phase and the disease process recover, whereas in very few percentage of the patients they progress to the severe form of the COVID in this disease phase, and this is called the pro-inflammatory phase, which usually lasts from days to the weeks. And the last phase is the recovery phase, where either the patients from the pro-inflammatory phase can recover or the patient can progress to severe critical form of the COVID infections. So the most important hallmark of this pro-inflammatory phase is breathing difficulty, decreased oxygen level, and increased breathing rate, and other symptoms like severe chest pain or severe bluish discoloration over the face and the lips. So the important test to diagnose the COVID infection, as all of us know, is the RT-PCR test. The most important point here is that the negative RT-PCR test doesn't rule out the COVID infections, because the sensitivity of the RT-PCR test is around the range of 65 to 70%. And there are some other tests like the rapid antigen test, which can detect the presence of the COVID infections within a span of 2 to 3 hours, and if the samples are usually collected from the throat swab like same RT-PCR test, whereas the RT-PCR test sometimes takes time, but the sensitivity of the RT-PCR test is more and better than the rapid antigen test. That is why the rapid antigen test is usually used for a screening test at most of the centers. After the patient has recovered from the COVID infections, there are different tests like antibody test, which can be used for the surveillance purpose in the society. Now, what are the different care plan at home? Basically, the patient should have different equipments at home, and he should know the nearest COVID isolation centers and the nearest hospital, so that in case of any difficulty he can reach to that centers. The different medicines which the doctors usually prescribe for the milder form of the COVID infections are some multivitamins like vitamin C and the zinc, and sometimes some antibiotics like azithromycin. For the fever, they usually prescribe the tablet paracetamol every 6 to 8 hours, and if the patient has some kind of acidity, sometimes tablet ranitidine or omeprazole can also be prescribed. Fewer patients, because of the allergic symptoms, they require this tablet cetirizine or tablet levocetirizine. The most important point here is that some of the antivirals which is available, like tablet favipiravir, which is actually the oral antiviral which act against the COVID, but some of the patients, they have some bitter experiences with the antiviral tablets, and sometimes they may cause severe nausea, vomiting, gastritis, and increase in the liver and the kidney enzymes. That is why these tablets are usually not preferred. Sometimes some antibiotics like doxycycline or the combination of doxycycline along with azithromycin or combination of doxycycline along with the ivermectin is preferred as oral antivirals, and they are the disease modifying drug. One important point to be noted here is that most of the antibiotics, they don't work against the viral infections, and we should be very careful while we are starting an antibiotic to treat a viral infection like the COVID. And we know that majority of the times the COVID is a self-limiting disease, and majority of the patients, it heals by the natural process. So only there are fewer medications are there which is required for the body to support the immune systems, like multivitamins and the zinc. But we need to remember that these mineral supplements cannot cure the COVID-19. So what we need to do is to strengthen our immune system so that our immune system can fight better against the virus, rather than taking different antibiotics or the different non-indicated drugs which is usually prescribed for the COVID infections. So this is the basic care plan. Like a patient having a mild infections has to drink a lot of water. Sometimes if the patient is asthmatic, he has to take his inhaler in the time. The patient has to practice deep breathing exercise. Sometimes he has to take paracetamol for the fever control. He has to sleep in different positions, and he has to do a routine milder form of the exercise, and he has to be mobilized, and one has to walk very fewer steps to prevent the blood clotting inside the deep veins of the legs, which is very important. So these are the different equipments usually we prescribe to the patients, like a thermometer which measures the temperature, your pulse oximeter which can measure the saturation. There are different medications like some antivirals like doxycyclines, like multivitamins. Sometimes the patients, because of the irritation in the throat, may require a betadine mouth gargle along with the warm water 3 to 4 times daily, and of course the mask to prevent the infection to go into other contacts to the household or to spread to the other person in the society or the locality. Sometimes some sanitizers, sprays may be required in that particular house, some gloves. So these has to be arranged by the patient. So these are the different methods to relieve the breathlessness at home for the very milder form of the COVID infected patients, like deep breathing exercise, which is very important, and sometimes belly breathing, or sometimes change of the positions during the sleeping, like sleeping on the stomach or sleeping on the right side, keeping a hand below your hand usually relieves some of the breathing difficulties. Some patients may feel better like sitting up at 60 to 90 degree angle. Sleeping on the left side or keeping a hand below your head sometimes also helps. The most important point is you have to change these positions regularly and maintain these positions for at least for 30 minutes, and sometimes sleeping on the stomach sometimes helps the lungs to breathe better. So these are the different methods the doctors suggest to get rid of the breathing difficulties for the milder COVID patients. So this is one of the breathing techniques, like called the deep breathing techniques, like you have to inhale through your nose very slowly and purse your lips and breathe out very slowly. So this will help to increase your lung capacity for the infected patients. And these are the different positions where the patient has to lie down during the sleeping. So this is the first one is the prone position where the patient is lying on the stomach. The second is the left lateral. The third is the right lateral, sometimes the sitting up positions. So these are the different methods. And the most important part is to help to stop the COVID-19 infections. Like If you are appropriate for the age, get a COVID-19 vaccines at the proper center, wash your hands often, cover your mouth or nose with a mask, and if you have recovered from the COVID, don't forget to donate your blood and plasma. Avoid the crowded place and practice social distancing. Some patients may be very anxious. So the most important point is keep yourself busy, keep yourself engaged, and the most important point is not to think of any negative things in your mind, and so that you have to train yourself and you have to always have some positive thinking. And for the milder infected patients, we need to remember that they have to be mobilized, and they have to mobilized at least in their workplace or in their house, where it will help them to prevent the blood clotting in their veins. This is very important. So the last part is not to ignore any warning signs, like if the patient has severe difficulty in breathing or shortness of the breath while at home, he has to report to the hospital immediately, or he has to consult his doctors. If there is a persistent pain or pressure in the chest, if there is a new confusion, if the patient is feeling giddy or drowsy, or if there is some bluish discoloration in the lips and face, or if the oxygen level in the pulse oximeter is going down less than 90%, or if the patient is requiring some of the oxygen support at home, those patients ideally should be referred to the hospital setup. So we need to understand that COVID is a self-limiting and self-curable disease. Sometimes we need not be very panicky, just to keep and to follow some of the protocols at place, and always reach to us whenever you are requiring any help from our side. Thank you.